What's up guys, Onmaths here, and today we're looking at standard form. Now, before I get started, really important to know what standard form is. And standard form is just a number between 1 and 10, but not including 10, times 10 to the power of another number. Okay, that's standard form. So you can see here in the first question we've got a number, which is 4.7, so that's between 1 and 10, times 10 to the power of another number. Okay, so that's in standard form. Now we're asked to write it as an ordinary number. Now this is a calculator paper, so what I can do is I can type it into my calculator, 4.7 times 10 to the power of minus 1. Now to get to the power of minus 1, you have on the Casio calculators there's a symbol that looks like this, and so you just click that button and then type in minus 1, press equals, and you get 0.47. Simple as that. Now we are going to be doing this without a calculator later on, but this is a calculator paper, so we might as well use a calculator. Again, question B, just type it into the calculator, 2.4 times 10 to the power of 3, or 10 cubed, times 9.5 times 10 to the power of 5. Now you don't actually need the brackets, you could put them in, but the brackets are really just to show you we're multiplying two standard form numbers together. And so we have 228, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, let's just count them to zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Okay. Now it says give our answer in standard form here. So it says give our answer in standard form. So we need that in standard form. Now to do that, there's just a number of steps. The first step is to figure out where the decimal point is. Now sometimes it's given with the number you want to convert. This time it's not. It's always at the end if it's not shown. Then you've got to figure out where you want it to be. Now, where we want it to be is position to make this a number between 1 and 10. And so if it goes here, that becomes 2.28, and that's a number between 1 and 10. So we already know that the number will be 2.28. Next we need to figure out how to get there. And so what we do is we count the jumps we need to go from where the decimal point is to where we want it to go. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 jumps. That 9 becomes the power of 10. It's that simple. Now there's one little tiny bit left to just check, and that is if the number is really big, like this number, then this power here is going to be positive. If the number's really small, say if we were converting this number here to standard form, if the number's really small, this power here will be negative. It's that simple. So big numbers get a positive power, and really small numbers get a negative power. Now the remaining questions today are all going to be non-calculator, but make sure you know how to do this with a calculator, because increasingly in recent years, especially since the new spec came in, they love putting standard form questions on the calculator paper as well. So just be wary of that. Make sure you know how to use your calculator for standard form. Okay, so we asked to convert an ordinary number into standard form. So what we do is we first of all write out the number. I always find the numbers in the question quite small. Next we need to figure out where we want the decimal point to be, because we're actually shown where the decimal point is now, and that will be after the 3 to make 3.16. So we know the answer will be 3.16 times 10 to the power of something. Then we count the jumps, so it's 1, 2, 3 jumps. But remember what I said before, if you're converting a really small number, then the power will be negative. That simple. So this could be 10 to the power of minus 3. Okay, that's all you need to do. Next we're asked to calculate this in standard form. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to pair the numbers up and pair the powers of 10 up. So we're going to just change this, and with multiplying it doesn't matter which order you multiply them in. So we'll put the numbers together and the powers of 10 together. Okay, so all we need to do is multiply the numbers. So it's 8, 2 times 4 is 8. Now the rules of indices say that when you times two powers with the same base, basically they both have 10 to the power of something, you add the powers together, you add the indices. So it's 10 to the power of 2 plus 5, which is 7. So our answer is 8 times 10 to the power of 7. Last up is our AQA question. Now, surprisingly, this was the very, very last question on this paper, but with the rules we've already learned, this shouldn't be too bad. So we start off with 8 times 10 to the power of minus 4, and we want to convert all of these into ordinary numbers so that we can compare them at the end. So we're going to start off with the 8, and the decimal point's at the end because it's not shown, it's always at the end. And minus 4, so we're going to have to make this a much smaller number, because if we jump to the right, we'll make that a bigger number, so we don't want to do that. Because it's a negative, we know it's going to be a small number, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps. So the decimal point's going to end up here. Now, what we're going to do with all those spaces, well, they just get filled in with zeros. And we normally, with decimals, have a 0 at the start as well, because it's 0 point something. Simple as that. Next, we're going to do the 4 times 10 to the power of minus 2. So we're going to start off with the 4, decimal point at the end. It's a negative power, so we know we're going to be jumping left to make this a small number. So 1, 2. Decimal point will end up here. And let's fill in the zeros. Wicked. Right. Next one, it's going to be a 6 and 4 jumps to the left. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Decimal point's going to end up here. Fill in the missing jumps with zeros, and there we go. And the last one is just given to us as 0.07. Right, now to order these, the easiest way is just to line them up nicely. And so I'm just going to write the figures and line up the decimal point. It's really important we line up the decimal point and line up all of the zeros as we go. Okay, so we're looking for the smallest first. So the smallest will be the smallest number in this one. Well, they're all zeros. The smallest number in this one. So we're actually looking at these two now because they both have zeros. Smallest number in this one, and then the smallest number in this one. The smallest number in the last column is that 6. So we've just got to quickly look back and figure out where that came from. Now that was the third one, which is this one here. Now it's really important that you write the original number in the question and not the decimal that we've converted it to. So whatever it said in the question, we write that. Now the next smallest is that 8 at the end, which looking back is this first one here, times 10 to the power of minus 4. Okay, so we've dealt with those now. Those are all done. And so we look back, and in this column here, there's a 4 there. So that one's got 4, which is this one here. So it'd be 4 times 10 to the power of minus 2. And then the biggest one is that 0.07, and that's just how it was shown in the question. So with this question, or like always with these kind of questions where you've got to order something, always convert them into the same thing first of all, but also, if you can, always convert them into decimals, because decimals are a lot easier to compare. If you've got, say, a fraction and a percentage and stuff, always convert them all into decimals if you can. Percentages aren't so bad either, so if you can convert them all to percentages, just sometimes with fractions it's a lot easier to convert to a decimal than it is to convert it to a percentage. But with standard form, just convert them all into the same thing, and it makes it very, very easy to compare all the different values. Something else we could have done if we were really good at standard form, really good at indices, is convert that 0.07 into standard form, and you'd have 7 times 10 to the power of minus 2. But I think that the decimal approach is a lot simpler. Well, I hope you found today's video useful. If you did, please click like. If you want to see more from us, release videos every single weekday at 9 o'clock in the morning. If you want to see even more from us, you can click the link that magically appears above the video now. That will take you straight through to our website, onmaths.com, which is packed full of completely free resources to help you with your maths going forward. Also, make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon to make sure you're up to date with all the videos. And please leave comments of stuff you want us to cover after summer school is finished. Otherwise, thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow.